Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Lara, a clinical pharmacist specializing in functional medicine, as well as a certified yoga teacher and Reiki master. I run a truly integrative health coaching practice, encompassing functional medicine lab testing, yoga and meditation, and a sprinkling of Reiki energy medicine. Join me here on Light Body Radio to break through your health plateau and come into alignment with your natural vitality. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Light Body Radio. I am your host, Dr. Lara, and today I have with me Brianna Wilkerson.
Hey.
Welcome. So happy to have you here. She is an educational and encouraging coach that is a graduate of the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And she is also the CEO and founder of MadeWell345.com. And she has her own podcast as well, which she is the host of, which is called Sustainable Weight Loss Podcasts.
More Than Your Weight podcast. I changed the name recently.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No,
I need to
update that. And she really focuses on empowering women to find peace with their food, feel confident in their bodies again, and develop a healthy lifestyle that is more than just about weight loss. Hallelujah to that.
Yes, that's why I switched the name, which, weight loss isn't a bad thing, but I think we get into trouble when we focus on it too much, right? So
yes, I can't tell you how many clients I've had also come to me and, the first thing they say, well, I want to lose weight. And if I say, well, if we focus on, the good food, the weight will come. And then they just sort of give me the look like,
Right. Yes.
So let's get started by just you telling us your story and about your own health journey and how you came to be this amazing coach.
Yeah. So, as a high school girl, I was, just started getting involved in sports. And I would say, I don't want to say I was on the heavier side, but I guess that's how people would describe it. And then I started playing sports and naturally I was doing 3 sports. So it's like my body just shifted. And so I also started to be just more conscious of what I was putting in my body. So I would say that's when I really started to get into nutrition. And I just noticed that obviously my weight changed, my body changed, and I would get compliments for it. So as a 14, 15-year-old girl who's just trying to find her place in the world, you're looking for a place to belong. You're looking for some sort of identity. I started to say, oh my goodness, when I am smaller or I lose weight, people notice me more. And so I kind of kept that up. I actually got to a weight that I felt like my body was healthy at. Then a hurricane hit. I'm from the Cayman Islands. So in the Caribbean, there's a lot of hurricanes and it just caused a lot of change. It was a major one. Everyone was fine, but our house got flooded out, all this different stuff. And so we were overseas for a month and then we moved in with my grandparents and my friends moved away. Another big thing as a high schooler, you're like, my friends are gone. And so I just felt like life was out of control. And I was just trying to find a way to deal with that and something that I could control. And I looked back on my last couple of years and said, oh, wow, I can control how much I eat and how much I exercise. So I used it as a form of therapy, but it got really very, very, very unhealthy at the same time, right? Because I started not eating a lot and exercising a lot. So I got really small. My body was kind of crying out for help in some ways, in the sense my period stopped. And as someone who was not doing anything at the time to have your period stop, it's like, what happened?
That's big,
so
yeah,
right. So and just kind of continue that until I actually ended up seeing, I have amazing people in my life that was just like, what's going on? Do you want to talk to someone? And I saw a nutritionist that was visiting our career class and I just started breaking down, crying with her because it wasn't about the food, right? And he could see that, pointing me to a child psychologist at the time that in my mind, I was like, I'll just gain weight and everyone will be happy, but never deal with what was going on. And so fast forward a few years, I was up to be valedictorian in high school and I just felt so stressed that I went to food for comfort. So I did the exact opposite and just felt like so much shame, so much guilt. I once controlled all this. What am I doing? And so that's when the dieting cycle really hit for me, where I was just running to a diet here and there to fix what I did. And that continued for a while until college. And for me, it was really reconnecting with my faith and really understanding my worth and identity was not in my weight. It was not in my work or what I did that changed things for me. And that took a while to get there. So often people are like, you hear this story and you're like, I'm like, that was over a decade plus, right? So it's not that it happens quickly, but the faster you can get to the point of like, yes, my health matters and your weight may matter, but doesn't define who you are. It doesn't define your success and all that. the healthier you'll be. And so
Mhm.
from that point, I started to make sustainable changes that, yes, led to sustained weight loss, but led to so much more. I gained more than I lost. Like I gained more joy, more peace with my body and food, and eventually found a new career. I was an accountant and then studied master's in business, right? So yeah, so I think that's kind of all what led me to start going to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition while, being a public auditor, 6, 7 years ago, and then running my business ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is a journey. And like you said, the problems aren't created overnight, and neither is
Yeah.
the solution.
Right.
And so I think that's important to point out too, because
Yeah.
we live in a society of instant gratification,
We do.
and unfortunately, I think sometimes we need those gentle nudges and reminders of it's okay to not be in what you consider, quote, your perfect place.
Right.
But as long as you're on your way to your goal, then you're making progress.
Right.
And I think that's a really good reminder for all of us, just to be more gentle with ourselves.
Yeah.
Because that's part of health and wellness too, isn't it? Right?
Right. I think, we would all probably say the way that women self-sabotage or actually, what holds them back from their goals is how harsh they actually are on themselves. The expectations that aren't realistic. Like even for them, maybe it was at one point, but in this season, it's not. And so if we can just, pull that back a little bit and see what's realistic and actually life-giving too, then it could change the way that we take care of ourselves and how we view ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, there's so much to unpack there.
Yeah.
So in your bio, you talk about helping women with food freedom and body confidence and the healthy lifestyle beyond the weight. So tell us more about that and how that you practically do that and get there with your clients.
Yeah, this is a great question. And I think I, realized after being in your business for so long, why I actually went into it and what women are coming to me. So when we were just talking about this, many women are coming to manage their weight or to get healthier again. And so it's often focusing on an outcome or a habits of some sort. But as we work together, we start to see that actually their mindset, our mindset towards food, our body, our weight, diets, the scale, ourselves are really driving how we approach taking care of ourselves. And sometimes that mindset's great and it's really helpful, but sometimes it's not. And so I started to see when it comes to food freedom, I would say there are different areas that we focus on. And then healthy habits as well. But I try to get women to go, let's look at your mind. Let's look at what you really believe to be true about diets and the scale. Like, why do you keep running to it when you want to fix your health or your weight? Why are we seeing certain foods as good or bad? No food's good or bad. Yes, there's some that are more nutritious than others. Then how are you viewing your body and yourself and seeing how all of that is actually connected to how you want to or think you should take care of yourself. And that's a deeper work. It's an uncomfortable work because sometimes you're unpacking beliefs that you've had for years or that people have projected on you for years. And so then when we do that, then we could also say, okay, I'm going to want to approach this from a right mindset, a healthy mindset, a way to love and care for my body because you only got one and your body's amazing. No other body like it. Then we can focus on the action of the healthy habits and nutrition, exercise, stress, and sleep. And what's funny that is you probably experience this with your clients, no matter kind of what the health issue or goal, there are certain areas that you need to work on. Everyone needs to work on. Now, it might be nuanced to if you have an autoimmune condition, how you eat is going to be very different than someone who just wants to eat whatever healthy. Right. And so, but there are main areas. And so I kind of help women with those habits as well. And so, yeah, it's kind of looking at mindset and also mind, body, but then soul, you are actually in your body. And so what matters to you most is what we would in Institute for Integrative Nutrition would call food. What's not on your plate. What you eat is secondary. Your financial health, your career, your relationships, all of those things really matter to you. And so we can't ignore that. That's not a huge part of what I would focus on. But, when you're actually talking with a client, all of that's being brought in. If your job is stressing you out and you're not passionate about it, that's showing up in how you take care of yourself. If your relationships are just hard and the pandemic, right, it's been hard for people relationally, it's going to affect you. And so it's not to say that that's bad. It's just we need to be aware of it so that we can get balance in all areas because they impact one another. And so through one-on-one coaching, group coaching programs, that's kind of lead clients through that. And then obviously in freeways too, podcasts, summits, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said earlier, even in your own story, that when you felt out of control, the food was the thing that you grabbed onto that you could control.
Right.
And so, yeah, like no matter where the out of control feeling is, it's the little things that we feel. And again, so I want to bring this back to like those feelings.
Yes.
Because I think that we also too don't give enough credence to those. And that's so much part of our mindset, our thinking.
Yeah.
And really just making that connection and stopping and even, like focusing on and like diving into that, like, what am I feeling?
Right.
Or when I am thinking that my body doesn't look the way I want it or perform the way I want it to, or, even, like allow me to get enough sleep. WTF, what is going on? Why can't I sleep?
Yeah.
Like what are you feeling, because out of control is one of them, but then there's so much more.
Totally.
And as health coaches, we create that sacred space to allow our clients to feel the feelings, to investigate them, get curious, and give them that safe space too, to be like, sit with it. It's okay. And I think be, again, healthily reminded that everything is temporary. And just because we're feeling an uncomfortable feeling doesn't mean it's going to last forever. And I think so many of us too, especially growing up as children, we're sort of taught like, get past that uncomfortableness. Oh, stop crying. Or, like your feelings were hurt at school. Okay. But now it's time to move on and get over it. So I don't think we're taught. I think more so now that we have more awakened and engaged parenting. And I'm not saying, our parents weren't engaged, but you know what I mean? Like more tools to give our kids. And so I'm hopeful and pretty confident that this next generation will have more tools than we did. But still, it's just so interesting too, that we, especially like at the beginning of our journey, these are things that we never even think about.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yes. Agreed.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a summit coming up, which is so exciting.
Yeah.
Yay. And you've hosted 5 summits before. So, and they've all had different themes and focuses. So what got you into the summits, and why is it that you like doing them and bringing all these amazing practitioners together?
Yeah, I think, as I entered the online world, I just saw, I'm a learner. Actually, that's one of my strengths on the Strength Finder. And I just like to learn, what is other people doing? I just find it so fascinating. So a summit, basically a virtual conference, I'm like, these are awesome. And so whether it be for business or health, I just really loved watching them and learning from them. And I just, sometimes I think I don't want to say I'm crazy, but I'm just under the philosophy, like, why not just try it? See if you like it, see if it works. And so I said, maybe I'm going to host one with someone. And at the time, the first one was very holistic in nature. It did focus more on everything around mind, body, and soul. And it was just so fun to bring other entrepreneurs in the health and wellness field who I just would love to learn from and talk to anyways, together to support our clients, to support our audience, and to really, I love collaboration versus competition too. So I truly believe there is tons of women and men out there that need help, and I can't do it all. Neither can you, but this other person can. And so why not just expose other people to other people who they might resonate with more or need help from specifically. So I did one and I was like, that was really cool. And I did another one and then another one. And it was just kind of around like, I feel like I should do a holiday one. I should do one for the new year and all that sort of stuff. And this is my second solo one. I've done 4 with co-host, which is just even so much more fun. But yeah, I just think they're just a great way, especially with the online environment and now COVID, like it's just a great way for people to get to know even other people who might be on the same journey as them and, get support in that way. Because sometimes those in our life just don't understand what we're going through or try to, but they don't have the tools to help us. And so whether it's a professional or just a friend that you meet online, it could be very beautiful and much needed for your journey.
Absolutely. And usually there's a Facebook, and you have a Facebook support group that comes along with your summits. And so, I think that's also like another layer of support and building that community, because, and I still come across people that are like, summits, what's that? I've never heard of that.
Yes.
And so I'm like,
it's not hiking up a mountain.
No, let me tell you about
Feels like
it
when you're hosting one, but no.
Sure, yeah, right. So, because, and I know people that are going through their own journey right now, and they're out there looking on the Facebook for that extra support.
Right. Yeah. So that with this one, this one's kind of focused on women 40 plus, which I'm only 32. So a lot of times people are like, well, you haven't even been there. But I'm like, yeah, but most of my clients for the last 6 years are 40 plus. And I just think because it's a very unique stage in our lives where it could be half of the rest of your life. Maybe your kids are older. Maybe you feel like you have more time, or you spent your whole life caring for other people. And so you're suddenly like, okay, I really need to care for them. Or you're just done the little quick fix stuff. And so I just noticed too, that there are certain health things too, that women 40 plus face that are very different in your 20s, 30s, and your teens. And often I think women, when they face those, whether it's because of perimenopause or menopause or age or anything, they just feel like, oh my goodness, like my health is just going to decline. Just like the best part of my life is not yet here. And so versus like, what if these could be in my healthiest years yet? Because I could be more intentional. I could be more aware. I could know what's going on with my body and move with it versus against it. And so that was the heart even behind this one, that, this could be your healthiest years yet. And bringing together women who are specifically talking about either their experience 40 plus in their health and dealing with different things like brain tumors, like breast cancer, autoimmune conditions, or menopause, or just like the women who help women in specific areas that women, a little bit end of 30s, 40s and plus would deal with. Yeah. And I love this message, is because I feel like we've been so ingrained that our health just naturally declines as we get older, yada, yada, yada. It's like, no, it doesn't have to. Right. And when we step forward and we, again, take that empowered role in our own health, then we get to say, we actually do have control. It's coming back to the control conversation of having that awareness of, I get to choose my thoughts about my body, then my feelings, my emotions, and then the consequences. And I can actually change the trajectory of my health. If something is going in the direction that doesn't feel good, or that I'm not that keen on, I have the power and the decision-making and the choices to change that. So I love that you're bringing all these resources to women over 40. I myself am 41, so I'm there. This is for you. Yeah. And so, and it's at the same, it's just always like, okay, for me, I'm always just thinking and asking questions. I like to question things. Right. And so I'm like, all right. And I still work in the Western medicine healthcare field too. Right. And so I'm sort of, especially when I'm at work, I'm that person. It's like, well, but does it have to be this way? Like what new approach can we bring to this? Right. So, and you sort of talked about how the summit will address these things. So what can people expect from this summit? Dates, speakers, topics, all that good stuff. Yeah. So ladies listening, this is for women. I'm sorry. Sometimes people ask, like, is it for, I'm like, you men get something for it, but we've specifically designed for ladies. I mean, it's a free summit. So from October 18th to the 22nd, there will be roughly 5 to 7 or so talks that go live each day, where they're about 20, 25 minutes, maybe somewhere a little over, where you can, like, each speaker is kind of giving you a masterclass. If you guys have heard of a masterclass, it's like a very great presentation with a lot of great how-tos, a lot of great whys, and a lot of great resources. So each speaker will share on that and a variety over the 5 days. And it kind of covers different areas of those taking care of your body and that mindset stuff, right? So mindset, maybe your relationship with food, maybe how you see your body, maybe your relationship even around like, can this actually be my healthiest years yet? Like that's my talk. I'm like, just going to really help you figure out ways that this can be your healthiest years yet. And then maybe it's around nutrition and exercise or stress and sleep or hormones and toxins and other areas of your life. We even have a speaker talking about how you can budget so you can actually financially invest in your health, which is a huge thing to do.
Yeah.
And so a variety of topics on, again, people sharing their story with different health conditions, people talking about energy hacks, how clutter. This is really fascinating how decluttering can actually reduce your stress and be a very powerful act of self-love, because most of us are in our house more than ever, right? And I don't know about seeing my closet. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just stressing me out, versus like, let me take 20 minutes, not scroll on Facebook, and just organize my house. And then it clears my mental real estate is what I would call it. So so just different things like that to really help women practically and also mentally prepare for the fall. And I wanted to have it in October because the holidays is about to come. And I think that's a time where we think, oh, I'm just going to let myself loose, and January I'll start fresh. But what if this was your healthiest holidays yet, by you just being intentional? So each speaker will also have a free resource that anyone can download. And also, if you purchase the summit, which everyone should do because there's a lot of great bonus, each speaker will have a giveaway that they're going to enter in for the raffle. So it could be a coaching session, it could be a course, it could be a book. And lifetime access, what that gives you. So you can watch for the whole week all the summit talks if you got a lot of time. But most people cannot watch 32 talks, which are 20 to 30 minutes each in a whole week. So purchase it. You'll get actually immediate access whenever you purchase it. So if you purchase it October 4th, you have a whole month to go through it, basically. You'll get a workbook so you can take notes, have those reflections down. You'll get access to something that my clients love call my food journal and habits tracker, where you can just track those habits that you're learning about. A post-summit coaching session with me as a group, just like, okay, you learned about this. How do we implement it? And then, entering a raffle for, my goodness, the prizes are probably worth altogether $5,000 more plus. And so all for a very affordable rate when you purchase it either before or during the summit. Cool. And so, you can get it for free, but can buy lifetime access if you want more of those bonuses as well.
Right. And with that, I think comes like that extra layer of support that we've been talking about. That's so important to really, bringing in the action to your goals and the attainment of whatever that happy end result is for you.
Right. Because, what I found is that because I'm a learner, maybe you just love to learn about health, geek out. I can study about the gut all the time. I know that's what your talks on and all these different things. But we don't want to puff up our head and knowledge without implementation. And so it can be very easy to get overwhelmed with that much information. You're like, what do I do next? And that's why there's a Facebook group where the speakers will be a part of. That's why there's the giveaways to actually help you implement what you're learning.
Yeah. And I think sometimes we constant learners, as fabulous as that is, sometimes we actually talk ourselves into thinking, oh, I still don't know enough. So exactly. I'm going to, instead of pausing after we learn something new and then, again, investigate, okay, now how do I implement it? So
right.
For sure. So how do they sign up?
Yeah. So I'll give you your link and you can just go to the link and sign up for the free summit. Or if you want to purchase right away, go to that one and just purchase it. And either way, even when you sign up for the free summit, there'll be an option to purchase as well. But when you do purchase it between October 4th and the 17th, you will get it for the early bird price. The price will go up during the week of the summit, though then it'll go up even after. And of course, if you're listening to this 3 months down the line, you're like, I wish I watch this, you can still purchase it. You can still get access to some of the bonuses will go away, like the giveaways and the post-summit coaching call, but some of the other ones will remain. Okay. So just go to the link, enter your name and email, and you're in.
Cool. And I'm going to put all this on my show notes page on my website. So people can go there and find all of that too. That'll take you directly to all of this fantastic information and resources. So if people want to learn more about you and your service and working directly with you, how do they do that? How do they get in touch with you?
Yeah. So I'm Madewell345 on all my social media channels. I'm on Instagram the most, but I'm in my Facebook group the most too, which if you're joining the summit, you'll be there. More Than Your Weight Women's Community. I also have a podcast, More Than Your Weight podcast. But if you go to my website, madewell345.com, it'll mention all my health coaching services, stuff about essential oils, all that stuff there too.
Fantastic. All right. Is there anything else that we need to bring the light to or talk about, or anything else that you want to bring forward? I
don't know. I just think, I get so excited with stuff like this. I get excited hosting it and I get excited being part of it because I love hosting parties in real life. So maybe that's why I really love hosting online parties. But again, just know that it's a space for you to get support. And now more than ever, we are all realizing the importance of our health and our bodies. And there's so many things that are outside of our control, but there's a lot in our control. So I want you to choose your health and body by signing up, by dedicating time and money. And so, maybe you start with one, time and then money, whatever, but just really realizing that investing in your health is not a waste at all. And would you rather do it now or whatever down the line when there's health conditions popping up, right? So the choice is in your hand and you have the power to do it, and we're there to support you.
Yes. Oh, that's so true. Yes. If, it's an investment, like you said, and now is better than later, especially while you're still feeling good, fairly good, or maybe you're already not feeling great.
Yeah.
And so again, making that shift to these are your healthiest years yet to come, and really just deciding and making that choice for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for all those that you come into contact with, because really like how we feel is what we project to the world. And that I feel like can be so powerful, just how we show up every day, feeling good in our bodies. And I think also like showing other people that, oh, look, I am making healthy choices for myself. So can you, because you never know who you come in contact with that is also feeling out of control, or maybe like depressed, or so many other things. And they're not talking about it and they feel alone, but just a simple act of maybe you're at work and someone you don't even know that well sees you eating a healthy lunch, and, maybe even taking some time away separately and having a mindful, experience with your food too. That can even just perk the tiniest little question for that other person to be like, ooh, that looks interesting. What is that? And then now they have started their, new leaf in their health journey too. So it can be so powerful, even though maybe at times it feels so little. And don't underestimate the power that you have, and that the impact that it can have on your life and others too. So thank you so much for being here. This was so fun, so information filled. I love it. And we kind of alluded to it, but I am also a guest speaker on this upcoming summit. So all you guys out there, ladies, women, and men, if you're curious, it's always helpful when our partners and those other family members in our life maybe understand a little bit deeper where we're coming from and what we're going through.
Very true.
So don't be afraid to sign up and, just take in everything that you can and enjoy it. And we love to hear feedback too. So when you join, make sure you go to the Facebook group and engage there. So thank you so much. And we look forward to the summit, Brianna, and having you back.
Thank you so much.